Yep, the OG, formerly known as OG, with a different logo.
Yeah.
But they still kept their name, so they've rebranded under the Red Bull sponsorship, but they still, I believe the name is still just OG, not Red Bull OG or OG. We're gonna call them OG.
I'm only calling him OG. Like, it's also we're gonna be like, welcome to Cloud9, G2A HUC Logitech.
Yeah.
Screw that shit.
Fair enough.
OG, a team known for their greatness in majors, known for their wonderful performance in the group stage of the International 2016, and known for their absolute destruction at the hands of MVP and TNC during the last TI, one of the biggest upset losses of the last International. How do you think they're gonna fare this team?
I think it's really difficult to really predict how things are gonna go this time around. It's like everybody kind of says it, that every year the competition gets harder, and I feel like we just see it over and over again. And yes, that thing last year with TNC was definitely a big upset, but we see upsets like that fairly regularly. There's a lot of teams that are renowned as the best, but the best are not that much better than the second best than they used to be. So upsets like that are more likely. OG, our team, I think have a very good shot at minimum top 8. Top 6 is definitely possible. Top 4 is less likely, and then going all the way, I think, you know, I just can't say it. I think going all the way is unlikely for any team. That's the whole point. Like, there's nobody where I'm like, this team is making top 4, no question.
When everyone started predicting like who was going to win, like you could probably go down to like limit your pool to an 8, and then just find an 8-sided dice, roll it, and then see who's going to come up. And that's probably your best way of deciding who's going to win TI.
It's pretty close to that at this point. Maybe you narrow it down a little bit more and say like top 6 or top 4, but beyond that, honestly, going into the tournament, it's impossible to say. Maybe we'll know more after a couple of days of groups. Maybe a team really stands out as being above the rest. But with the merit the teams have going in and what we've seen over the last couple of months, I don't think there's like a massive favorite.
S4, you on it. You on it. Let it out.
Oh,
Let
man.
it out.
S4
Let it out,
is ready
S4.
to play. It's like,
he looks at us like, Lich. Why am I going up
can we
against
play the
the
main
Lich?
event already?
Just like, you know, can I just like sleep through this? You know, Nortel, just pick Arc Warden. Just Arc Warden it. Like, we'll just out push him that way. It's fine.
Oh.
And a Winter Wyvern with an Nyx Assassin as the first 2.
Okay, so this is very different from what we saw in the last game, and there's a couple of things. So first of all, Sand King Shaker are banned again, or they were banned in the first game, and in the second game, Sand King got through. Earth Spirit got lots of 4 bans. Look at that, four potential position 4 heroes banned, and a couple of them can go offlane. First pick Nyx, that was a hero that was banned both games in the last series we saw, so seems to be a very hot pick right now. And then Cloud9 grabbing the Lich instantly and the NS that we've seen contested. This Wyvern pick is really weird for me, because most of the time this hero gets picked up as a counter pick. You pick it for Cold Embrace and you pick it for Winter's Curse, which both abilities are very strong against physical damage. And then you look at Cloud9's heroes and you're like, what is one thing these 2 heroes don't have? It's physical damage. It's like the only thing they really don't do. They give vision, they have slow, they have silence, they have mobility on the Night Stalker, you have ganking potential, you don't have physical damage. Let's go Wyvern!
But it's just then one of those like flight things. Like, I always picked up Phoenix because of this. Like, Firebird was last TI, now it's Frostbird this time.
Maybe.
Like, it becomes that lane harasser. Maybe it's another setup as well for a bigger AoE controller. We can look towards S4's Enigma play.
Darkseer?
Darkseer could also be another one. Like, you just... I don't think like any other AoE control that Wyvern can do where it's not about who he counters, it's who he synergizes.
They're not picking, just going for a flat-out bad pick on second pick. No, nobody. That's not going to happen. It's interesting to me. I'm just curious to see what they're going to do with it. I love Wyvern. I think it's one of the most fun heroes to play as a support and very like unique in design. So I'm just happy we get to see it. This was just not the conditions I was expecting to see it picked under. So here comes the Quap for Cloud9. Alchemist banned, by the way, noteworthy.
Yep.
Both Alchemist and Anti-Mage. OG banning very heavy farming split push heroes, which is maybe surprising. That's something we generally see OG pick themselves.
The Anti-Mage maybe not so much. The Anti-Mage was another one of those heroes which we're flagging as a good safe laner for this entire tournament.
Yeah, maybe No-Tail just doesn't like it at all.
Maybe just doesn't want Eternal Envy playing. It's like, I don't want to get pushed into a position where we have to play like 50 minutes or 60 minutes worth of a game where everything could be just decided on one bad play, or I have to always pressure Eternal Envy. Can I just let him be who he wants to be, but not farming to a point where I'm going to worry about what he's going to be? Yeah. Either way, Fly. Now to pick up. And do you actually see S4 actually running the Nyx Assassin in this game? Or do you feel like you can run a 4-position Nyx?
I think it's almost only a 4. I think this hero is really weak in the offlane, actually. The problem that Nyx has as a position 3 is that he does fairly poorly in a lot of 1v2s, and actually a lot of 1v1s, and 1v3s you can get shut down completely. What's your recovery plan? You can't really jungle. You are not that good at making lane swaps and then suddenly being in another lane and playing that, because then you're also going to lose that matchup. And in addition to that, you have a position 3 who doesn't farm. Like, Nyx is a scout. So if you put this hero on position 3 and he starts running around, if you don't make plays, you're just falling behind as a 3 instead of as a 4, or even a 5. I'm pretty sure this is a position 4 Nyx. We're going to see the TA grabbed here for Ana, so OG definitely getting a comfort pick in that regard. Queen of Pain, not the easiest matchup, but it's definitely playable.
It's the confidence in Ana to also win that lane. Like, if he's got a little bit of help from Wyvern, maybe they can just harass the Queen of Pain out of the mid, cause a large amount of problems for Fada, and that's probably what we are going to see in the or whoever else is going to. The Night Stalker is going to be doing the same thing to the team.
They did pick TA into both a Quap and a Lich. Lich is actually not too bad. Ice Armor is very powerful against TA. I think it's often overlooked. When you talk about Lich, people like focusing on like the laning of Sacrifice and the harassment, and that you have Chain Frost, and of course Ice Armor is definitely mentioned, but it's probably a bigger part of the hero than some people expect, and picking TA into that is a bit surprising to me. To be honest with you, I haven't really liked or followed the logic in OG's draft order so far, so I'm just looking forward to being surprised with what the idea is here. But this, to me, if you asked me, if you freeze framed this and you asked me who picked what when, I would have thought that this was actually Cloud9 counterpicking every time. Cloud9 first picked Lich, and then they got the heroes as counterpicks every time. Bit surprising. Here comes the Bat Rider. Good hero against Templar Assassin. Pretty bad against Nyx, though. One of the worst matchups Bat Rider has at all. It's a hero that can find Bat. You have Carapace against Firefly.
It seems like Quap as well as Bat Rider are going to have a hard time against that. Yeah. And, well, they go for the Phantom Lancer. We saw him being banned out in the previous series we had on the mainstream. And now he's going to be picked up. The 4th position.
This series to me just already, at least OG, seem like they have a completely different view on Dota than the last match. That's always very interesting to see when teams go in like this. You generally don't have an end result where it's like, you were right, you were wrong, but there will be some adaptations coming along the way where they're gonna like merge more toward each other. But right now, this is a completely different style of Dota from OG than we saw.
Which is exactly what they probably wanted to achieve. Like, we understand, like, Sebastian, their coach behind the scenes, Fly and No-Tail are probably, like, hashing out as many ideas as we possibly can. And OG's biggest problem last TI was the fact that they were very predictable. You knew the type of gameplay they were going to play, the type of timing they would play, their exact movements. So throwing a spanner in the works in the group stage is a fantastic, as long as they can still get victories, of course. You don't want to find yourself sitting on the edge of that elimination game. But definitely mixing things up, making sure that everyone doesn't just think you're a one-trick pony, making sure that people aren't confident going up against you because they know what they're going to get. And OG, a lot of eyes are on them, no matter how much pressure you probably take off them, because they're like, oh, they're just underperforming lately. They still won the majors. They still stepped up when the time counted. And this is something which a lot of teams will still have a lot of respect for. And OG, they need to keep teams on their toes up against them, and I think this is a really good way to start. It's still confident in its way. There's still stability.
Oh, that's a good ban. That's a really good ban.
There goes your extra physical damage of Sven.
It's one of the heroes that you actually like playing Wyvern against, but Sven is good against PL and TA. Like, very good. And they OG have
so
chosen
much armor with ice armor as well if they had him.
OG have chosen to show 2 physical damage cores and pick 2 greedy heroes in both PL and TA. Like, I know last game I said PL was a less greedy pick than what was the other one I was mentioning, Spectre. But in it still is a pretty farm-oriented hero, no matter how you look at it. There's greedier heroes, but there's definitely also less greedy heroes. Well, we'll see how OG distribute their farm in this game and how they put their lanes. PL is good against them.
It's a Centaur.
Classic OG stuff. So yep, offlane Cent, Nyx, Wyvern supports, and these.
It's a lot of survivability out from OG. Like, is this when you start questioning, like, what does Cloud9 do? You ban out this event, you ban out that heavy amount of physical damage that he could have brought to the fight. Where is that damage output coming from C9? Queen of Pain does her Sonic Wave combination, and then it's what? What is this EE hero?
I think Venomancer is pretty.
Is that enough damage though? Because Centaur can just disengage with Stampede.
It might not be enough. It's either that or you go for some really, I think, possibly safe lane Ember, but you don't want to pick Ember into Nyx. That's a pretty bad matchup actually.
Yeah.
But Ember is pretty good against PL. He's pretty good against TA. Good against Wyvern. And I'm just thinking about Envy heroes, and there's nothing coming to mind right now that would be amazing. But they have to choose, and it is
Juggernaut. The last hero that's left, which actually has enough damage and sustain that maybe they can fight in the lane. Clearance might be a bit of a problem, but if we kind of do also understand like the PL is not an illusion hero anymore, or isn't really an illusion. Very short burst, so the Maelstrom build on the Juggernaut.
Yes, Jugger's the type of hero that wants to go Mjolnir in this game, for sure. It's very high value against the PL. It's good against TA. You get refraction down faster. Good attack speed. You have the Chain Lightning proc to remove that. I
have a critical question for you. Is it really a Bat Rider when he's not riding a bat? Shouldn't it be Manta Rider?
Bat Raider.
Would it be a Raider? He's not a Raider.
It's a Ray. Manta Ray. Bat Raider.
But he's not Bat. He's not a bat.
I know.
It's the person. It's what he's riding, right?
Yeah.
Like, I do think that's a nice little spin on it, the Bat Raider. But
well, just say that's what it is. That's the lore behind it. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry about cosmetics. They all make sense. This Phantom Lancer is wearing a shovel and a triangular hat, a wizard hat. He's still a Phantom Lancer. Is it actually a shovel? It looked like a shovel. I put on my shovel and my wizard hat.
To battle go.
How far cosmetics have come. Okay, so anyway, let's have a look at the game as we pause. Okay, nice. Way to blow the steam out of that.
It's not a shovel. It's an oar.
It's an oar?
It's an oar. It is the Humble Drifter's oar on the Phantom Lancer.
That's a very nice name for a shovel.
It's a common weapon from Bell. I'm surprised. I am very surprised. But then again, why would he spend money on a cat character? He would spend money on a dog character.
Wait, what just happened?
What?
So Jarex is TPing to his own base and says his TP bugged, and then the Radiant are also saying bugged.
Alright, so they both bugged out when they TP'd out. Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened.
But AUI and Pylidea both committed their TP scrolls to go out, where it was only Jirax from OG who committed his.
Where's AUI? AUI is TPing top. It's not.
Alright, so it's up to the admin for how we move forward from here.
Okay. Anyway, I wanna, like, whether we remake or not, wanna look a bit at these lineups because it's so different. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so no remake.
The OG lineup is very different from what we've seen as of late. Whereas Cloud9 is more in line with stuff we've seen. It's pretty fight-centric, has vision and ways of engaging, it has team fight and scaling heroes. Whereas OG's is a lot more, I want to say, counterplay focused. Like PL being able to disengage, Winter's Curse, Spike Carapace from the Nyx, Stampede to get out, and then really greedy farmers that need time to build up. Playing playing TA and PL together is often not that advisable because of like you basically put yourself on the back foot for a while. Like your lineup is just not strong at fighting back. But if they manage to get through that phase, they're very strong later on.
Doesn't this seem like that old school OG?
Yeah, where they were always playing like 1 or 2 saving supports, and then they played greedy core. I wonder if they found that style works better again. I guess we'll have to see.
Well, you got the saving support that comes in the form of the Winter Wyvern, and
It
in a
doesn't
way
really save against this lineup, though, does it?
No, but that's also because you picked it so early on that Cloud9 were not going to say, hey, we're gonna draft something which you can now counter.
That's what I thought too.
But then you also have Nick's Assassin. You've got like the counter to almost everything they've got, so he can do the saving.
I think the Knicks pick turned out very good this game, even though it got first picked. We're gonna see how it works out. Hero is
Jirax. Is he actually going to try this? It's like, hi, Fada. Fada's leaving Kogi. He's like, no battle, no contest. I lay my wings down at your feet. Fada. Okay, Jirax is not accepting this. Boots first. Nick's Assassin rotations. He'll keep Fada as well looking behind him. Thanks to the fact that Fada didn't get the bounty rune, he's not going to bring out the salve early on.
I like this laning from Cloud9. Very good. They're putting the Night Stalker mid in the start to harass the TA and give the Quap an advantage. Bottom lane they have Batrider against Centaur, which is a very Batrider favored lane. And then top they have this Lich dual lane that is able to get the wave back and annoy this OG together with a Juggernaut. You can't really get killed here.
Both sides are starting off their harassment. Eternal Envy's already committed his spin. No-Tail's got Dragon Lance of Fireball, chipping down Eternal Envy. They're going to have to burn through... They didn't bring that many consumables to the top lane. So they're going to have to burn through a lot of their tangos already between Pilot Eye and Envy. He at least has the salve available.
They're gonna be all right for a while.
S1 needs to switch his build up a little bit. He needs to get that stick as early as he can against MSS.
Either stick or... I think it might be better to just rush the boots, actually.
He's got Tranquils in his quick buy.
Yeah. The real challenge is getting to the shop.
Heh.
That is not going to be easy. If MSS can play this lane however he wants, he's going to outfarm the Centaur quite a lot because he can push this wave and then he can go and farm his side camp with Firefly and stack it if he wants. And there is nothing Centaur can do. So, there we go. Boots picked up for Batrider, so head start here for him. Already up 4-1.
Bringing help up to top lane. Jirax, the double stun is beautiful. Pilot die. He goes for Frost Armor at level 2, but that won't actually stop No-Tail from taking the first blood. They'll lose Jirax, but it looked like a sacrifice OG was willing to make by making him run underneath the tier 1 tower to line up the double stun.
You're generally okay as the team on the receiving end if you trade kills in a 3-on-2. That's pretty good. It was first blood though, so obviously good for OG, but if you go for a 3-on-2 lane, you generally just get a kill, and that's it. But the counter kill for C9 there was good for them.
We got a first little bit of a lane rotation. No-Tail has switched himself down to the bottom lane. S4 is going to head up towards the top, but in mid lane, Jirax with that haste rune, just trying to cause problems. He stole from underneath the nose of AUI. But it's more of a keep your eyes behind your back at all times.
This is a very good lane matchup for PL now, bottom. This is part of the reason OG picked the Lancer, is how well he fares against Batrider. So you can always doppelganger off the stacks of sticky napalm. You have a good, reliable slow that you can get in with, and you can actually just fight the Batrider when he goes on you. You lance your fight back, and then you...
I don't think Fada really meant to do that. He blinked up into the small area just south of the Ancients, and then attacked uphill, revealing the fact they had an Observer Ward there.
Oh.
And this was scouted by OG. The ping came very shortly after it happened.
The ward only has a minute and a half left on it. They got a majority of the value out of it anyway.
Yeah. Just small little things.
Yep.
S4's going to have the time of his life now on the top lane. Eternal Envy and Pilot, I know they can't kill him. Like, at least Frost Arm means S4 is not going to try and physically harass Eternal Envy down. No-Tail, I think he's fine. Like, MSS can Firefly all he wants.
Bigger problem here for OG, the way I see it, is that all three cores of Cloud9 are having a good time, and this mid lane, Ana is just not going to win. It's not, in the first place, it's not that good of a matchup, and he's getting countered really hard by this Night Stalker, and now it's only going to get worse. So Ana is stacking his Ancients, and he currently got Dragons and Ancient Prowlers.
Yeah, but he actually had a bugging Dragon. A Dragon didn't move off the camp when he attacked. Sorry, one of the Satyrs, the Prowlers. It just stayed there when he attacked it. So he didn't actually get his...
Oh, Fly is...
boned.
Mucho dead.
He's trying to fly over the tree line. He's out of range of everything until AUI takes to the skies. And he'll fall. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Anna looking for the kill over on Fada with a stun from GRX and that Meld Strike. It does the damage, but Anna's in trouble. MSS, the best rotation he could have asked for. Now you've almost got a level 6 Bat Rider under 5 minutes into this game, taking a solo kill on a Templar Assassin.
It's still a very important kill for OG to get regardless. Anna getting the kill on Fox.
Oh, GRX, no, not like this, GRX. he got hit and petrified and desecrated by the frickin' Prowler.
Oh, that is not good.
They can't stack because the Observer was blocking it again.
They're putting a lot of emphasis on this mid lane, and they can get away with it because their side lanes are so good. Night Stalker hasn't even really needed to do much else. He just made that very quick move top to kill the Wyvern, but apart from that, AUI has been targeting this mid lane a lot. Ana has skilled Meld, dodges the Shadow Strike nicely there.
Eternal Envy, do you want to go under that? There's still a Centaur. Very deep under the town, but with the help from AUI, they got another creep wave here as well. S4 will have to make a break for the tree line. He goes for the Horde Stomp, at least keeps AUI in position, but with the spin damage, S4 will fall. And Cloud9 showing they're not afraid to dive underneath those tier 1 towers. Especially when OG are committing resources elsewhere, aka Anna now trying to farm the stacks. Yeah, there is that Prowler. He's not moving again. He refuses to get off that dire camp.
Wait, what is happening?
I'm not certain.
Is this... So the biggest concern for me is that this isn't happening to Loda, because that's how it always is.
Oh, bad things come to Loda.
I guess S4 is there, so we have an honorary member of the bug-finding committee in the game.
Are we saying this has to be a Swedish curse? Why is Australia the one having to pay for the Swedish mistakes?
Yeah, poor Ana. This is really...
Yeah, the upside is, though, GRX did do a triple stack of the Ancients to the south. So they have those to turn for. But as you said, like, the Templar Assassin was not going to, like, hands down win the mid lane. But you win by playing the catch-up with Templar Assassin. That's her biggest strength. She's able to play the Ancient game. I think Anna has had enough. He's going to take the bottom.
Oh, top lane is 4.
Yeah, quick hoof stomp, but once again, he hoof stomps the Night Stalker, spin from Eternal Envy, he's going to be unaffected, and S4 will die once more. For the trade-off is GRX flying No-Tail, pressuring the bottom, and now No-Tail, even with these kills coming the way of Eternal Envy, No-Tail is contesting him for the highest net worth position. It's only like 100 or so away from each other.
Yep. We're evening out the tower score here. Both safe lane towers gone, minute 7. That's pretty early. But sometimes rotations just play in favor of this.
Yeah.
And now, honestly, the big story of this game is going to be the next 10 minutes. Like, does Ana get to farm a lot or not? The stacks will need to be contested by Cloud9, and they will need to be continued to made by OG. S4 has a long recovery curve ahead of him. This, I think, is a really hard Centaur game, personally.
Anna actually didn't do his stack.
Nope.
That dire stack is still there, so GRX is lining up once again to stack it. All right, I want to see if this adder is just permanently rooted to the ground. No, he's fine. He'll move. Just seems like when he's attacked at the start, he's like, I refuse to leave.
Yeah, now the stack failed, though, because now there's a ward.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to start getting paranoid. Like, why is this happening?
Is there an invis hero? Is Night Stalker just sitting on a cliffside nearby that's blocking this? Like, what's going on? S4 might be in trouble once more. Eternal Envy just commits the Omni Slash. S4 misses the hoof stomp. Eternal Envy very quick into the Blade Fury. Allows him to be immune and just spin away from the tier 2 tower.
4-0 on Jugger.
No, that's a beautiful sight, man.
He's having a very good start here. Oh, bottom lane, No-Tail. There's a haste on Fata, though. He does have Sonic Wave.
14 one-charges on No-Tail, however. He's got... Okay, now he's going to commit them. One more Lance is available. Support will not come. Nyx Assassin's too busy trying to help Anna take the stack. He's doing these line impale stuns to give Anna that time to attack in. He's only just got his treads to arrive.
And you have to take this in one go because the Prowlers are healing the camp up very fast.
Yep.
Again, and once the Acolytes start dying, you farm this pretty fast. So.
It's going to be nice for GRX too. This is some good levels for him. Get him closer to having his level 6 so he can be that proper rotation. But meanwhile, all this is happening. Eternal Envy basically dominates the top lane with the help of Pylai Die. There's nothing S4 can get out of this. So you're delaying the Blink Dagger and progression on the Centaur. Are you still okay with this? Considering the trade-off you're taking, like farm for a Templar Assassin for a slowed down Centaur.
I don't think they have much choice. This lineup of OG is very slow, so they're kind of at the mercy of what Cloud9 wants to do, and then they counterplay the best they can. Okay, you guys are top, we're going to farm the bottom ancient stack and push bottom with RPL. Okay, you guys are going to rotate, we'll rotate somewhere else. They're not willing or really able to take the fights, and in this game, S4 is just going to get sacked. I'm not sure where he can go, really, at this point. Once the Blink Dagger comes out later, he can have some big plays, but for now, he's kind of just screwed.
It's the OG space creation, right? I guess what they've done time and time again in the past is watching Ana just go ham, and then S4 can sit on the top lane farming. Notel's having a really good time with his farm on bottom lane. He's getting solo experience, causing real problems for Fada. And once his diffuser blade is up, he's also a ganker, he's also a hunter. A real problem for Cloud9, and that's when maybe we turn our attention to Eternal Envy. Going for the Ring of Aquila, going for the early drums. He looks to be going for a very combat kind of style, but is this going to be enough items to deal with the OG aggression when it comes? Speaking of which, Jirax has his vendetta because that ancient stack scouts out 3 heroes moving towards the top lane.
Big info.
They even Sentry just to be safe. The Sentry ward for the Radiant side is a little bit too far over. Now the stun, it hits on Eternal Envy. If they can kill him off before it gets his spin, no, the spin will happen. The Cold Embrace tried to also save S4, who was in a little bit too deep, but it's OG, even with the information, they still cannot take the fight.
That was so sick from MSS. He instantly used Flame Break to knock the Centaur away so he didn't get the Hoof Stomp on. And after that point, I like that play from OG of trying to go for the Jugger the way they did. MSS was just way too fast, and OG didn't have good enough position to make that kill happen. The idea was good, the execution just count plays. Yeah, very nice. Out of the Batrider.
They try to protect that healing ward so much. Actually got through his full duration anyway. Just keep pressuring top lane. Notel will have to be up here to defend it. So S4 is finally getting that space he wants on bottom lane. With no tier 1 tower and the tier 2 tower taking a little bit of chip damage, looks like Cloud9 are still focusing more to the northern side of the map.
Meanwhile, Ana is getting a lot of fun. Cleared 2.5 ancient stack now, I think.
Number 1 net worth, 5.6k.
Yep.
Compared to the Clop, who's 4.5k. Not exactly certain what AUI wants to achieve in the mid.
Trying to get into their heads here. He's trying to pretend that there's more pressure being applied here, or that there are other heroes in the neighborhood. Sometimes going for, like, it's such a low-cost play, right? He pays 100 mana to maybe try to mislead or intimidate a little bit. Dota is a very mental game a lot of the time, so it's like, oh, there's heroes missing Night Stalkers running toward me, be ready to TP mid stuff, and then...
They scanned for it. They were worried about it. The scan happened to the north side of the tier 1.
Basically got into their heads a little bit there at no cost, so good stuff from AUI. And he feels confident probably because there's so little that can kill this Night Stalker. His plays are fairly minimal.
Yep.
Bottom lane, S4 again. I think they saw him. They saw him pulling. He's super dead if they get silence on him now.
They just found him.
Oh!
AUI.
That's some good fog.
Eternal Envy just backed out, and he already committed his phase boots to retreat. The creep wave's hitting the tier 2 tower. S4 knows something is awry. And in fact, now they just rotate in Jirax.
I don't think they...
I believe you're correct. Unless AUI wants to run underneath the camp, then they'll have a chance. But while that game's going on, the Blink Dagger is now on the Batrider, freshly to be revealed. They smoke up with Lich.
The biggest kill on the map except TA.
Oh, where's your jump? Notel does a react, doppelganger. Find the real one. Notel is trying to retreat back. He's got 17 one-charges of Fireball, and there's your Stampede. The Lich ulti flies forward. He's got no way to dodge it, and that will be a blink into a kill. At the same time, Nyx Assassin dies on the bottom lane. AUI is looking for more, but Ana is nearby. Has his full Desolator completed now, and they will not fight.
S4, he doesn't have Stampede now.
Oh boy, thought he wasn't going to fight, but now Wyvern TPs in, needs to get that Cold Embrace off, goes for the Curse, holding Eternal Envy in position. Ana waits, hits him with the Mel Strike. They need more damage. Eternal Envy, the healing water's doing work, but no, AUI, the Void, Envy, Ana couldn't reach him. Side blades are just not big enough.
He stopped him mid-attack animation with that void cast. Barely getting.
And now he wants neither rune. That ain't happening.
So they forced a TP and a curse out of Wyvern at no cost, except that they didn't get the kill on the Centaur. And that gives Pilot Eye a lot of time to get some wards out here and getting some good information on the map. They pushed in top very nicely onto No Tail, so know very well what's going on. And this game right now, with the exception of TA, is looking very, very Cloud9. Getting so much out of the map, much threat.
They've got better initiation and better vision control through AUI as well as now through the Blink Dagger of MSS. Yeah, they're really trying to capitalize on their advantage, because I think they also understand though, like even with all this initiation, if OG have time to farm up.
Wait, Envy?
Is he baiting with this spin TP out?
That is so Envy. This is like ultra next level.
I'm leaving the fight, which is the damage we require to actually win the fight, but we'll still win the fight because there's enough confidence in the rest of Cloud9 to not kill off Fly, who's retreating back to the T1 tower. The Lich ulti, Cold Embrace, he'll get a little bit of levels. Void level 4 is available. They'll still kill off Fly.
I think this is the first time I've seen someone spin TP out of his own gank. I mean, I guess it kind of worked. I just think he didn't need to do it. OG were already backing off. He didn't really find any information or...
He came straight back to the lane. Like he TP'd to tier 2 and then just ran straight back into the lane. So it was intentional.
For sure. It would have been really nice if OG wanted to go for him. I think he was hoping that they were going to curse him and try to fight, because then his teammates coming in could go for a great counterplay.
Pilot Eye slowed down. Fada's already triggered the Shrine, so Pilot Eye won't have that regeneration. Jirax gets with a stun. Ana, one quick meld strike, and this Lich, for all the armor he might have, he won't survive, but they bring in the extra help. PL's arriving. Fada wanted to run. Sonic Wave, not worth committing. He's down, and AUI. Jirax has stun in 1 second time. They'll remove the vision. The stun, it doesn't reach. The Impale of Jirax cannot get that far, and AUI will be able to get back out to safety. And OG, originally they're looking for Roshan. Maybe now they just take the tier 1 tower top.
It's really big for them that Ana has this much farm. He is doing all the damage right now. That fight he got, I think, 2 meld strikes off. The Fata reinitiating on the Queen of Pain turned out to be a big mistake. I think he had the right intention though. Next to their shrine, they could have TP'd in heroes to help and maybe take that fight, but...
Here we go, Blink Lasso, they found a big one. It's Ana, they'll protect him already with a Cold Embrace. As now the curse onto Eternal Envy. S4 prepping himself, but they just stampede out. OG make the call, this is not worth the squeeze, but maybe they still find Ana. He has a TP, killing off MSS, but the Omni Slash, Refraction was down, didn't have Meld as an option. No-Tail and Fly, both hit by the Sonic Wave of Fada. No-Tail escaping out as possible. Now the Lich ulti flies forward, he will go down. Fada claiming that kill, no doppelganger to work with, and there was not much that Jirax could do to help. Not once that Chain Frost went.
The silver lining for OG here is that there's no darkness, so I think C9 still are not in a position to really take any buildings right now, or get any good vision out. Jirax is still scouting. Pretty confident with his move, running through the river. Sentry's there. Or his Vendetta is going to expire. Really learned too much there. Back toward mid. So Cloud9 still looking pretty good. I like this a lot from Fata, by the way. The rushing of Orchid against the lineup he's facing is extremely good against Wyvern and Nyx and PL. An absolutely great item this game. We see most Queens today go for the Veil first. But I think the Orchid build has a lot of merit in many games still.
OG are coming.
Autopilot.
They found a target. It's going to be Night Stalker. They do that instant stun. Hoof Stomp Blink does the work with the meld. At least he's got the Frost Armor. AUI very tanky on that Night Stalker. They'll finally kill him off. The curse on the Queen of Pain. Eternal Envy is currently killing his teammates at the moment. No-Tail wants to keep burning off the mana. That's why the Illusions run forward to help out. And OG, they could have just gone for Roshan instead. That line was very quickly drawn, saying they want to fight first. And then into a tier 1 tower once more.
S4 is ready to jump, but he's on the wrong side. Maybe he can find 5.
Envy. No-Tails all around him. The blink in from MSS, but Templar Assassin went with S4. They initiated into the backlines of Cloud9. Oh, and Cloud9 was initiating the backlines of OG. It's basically skitter-scatter everywhere, hit with the Mel Strike. Bad Rider wants a little bit more time to survive, and maybe the life is there. No, S4 will jump forward, gets the double edge. They'll take the tower, and that was the cleaner fight that OG wanted on top lane before.
This actually looked like it was going to be a great opening for Cloud9 when they came from the bottom side, because S4 was standing on the stairs on the left, and he couldn't connect on anyone except Pylai who walked on the left. So the whole Cloud9 team was on the bottom side, and one guy goes top, and that guy just dies, doesn't get any spells off, and OG kind of collapsed on them after that. So very big moment. They get the tower, they get the Roche, and now this game is all of a sudden looking a lot better for OG.
Yeah, this is that danger zone, right? Like OG, we're talking about their strength once their heroes come online, once we hit that mid-game for them, and it's happened. We're hitting the 20-minute mark. This is where we begin the mid-game. Cloud9 haven't got enough momentum behind themselves. They've taken one Tier 1 tower in 20 minutes, and now they've lost all of their own Tier 1 towers, and the Tier 2 tower on bottom lane is down to half-life. This is problematic to say the least for Cloud9. They need their initiations to start working again.
Absolutely.
But it was also a bit of an unfortunate thing for MSS. Like, he blinked onto TA the second the TA jumped forward as well.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't have planned like one of those, oh, crap moments.
Yeah.
Any harder than that. That was sad for MSS.
At the end of the day, what sets it up is that Pi goes north and the rest of the team goes south. Because if there isn't even a target, then that jump is never going to happen.
Yeah.
But one hero went in the opposite way, and maybe Pi did it deliberately. Maybe he wanted to get jumped. It's like, if you guys are going to commit on my Lich on the back line, my team is going to win the fight. But they didn't.
That's when you got the confidence that you're going to do more burst damage than a Templar Assassin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, because if you're doing that, you're splitting the fight. It's like, we get our kill, then we move over to help.
But Envy didn't have mana. That was the problem. He was already burned by PL before the fight began, so Envy had to choose between using Spin and Omni Slash. He doesn't have a magic wand. I don't even know if their team has a pair of arcane boots. They don't. So he was kind of just...
he can't even choose to use Omni Slash.
Like, he didn't get it off in that fight.
If he's going for a PL, like, how do you even Omni Slash anyway?
Yeah, well, there were other targets. He could have maybe Omni-Slashed the Wyvern or the Nyx and just killed them after the Cold Embrace was used, but
yeah.
the play wasn't even available. And that's... Cloud9 need their tools. You can't play these team fights without a Juggernaut Omni-Slash right now. It's just not... It's not going to work.
So the Orca got completed up over on Fada. Already No-Tails building into Amanda Star to try and counter his effect. Anna won't be so lucky. He's going to go for direct damage. He's going Hurricane Pike as his next one. After the blink as well as Desolator. So wanting that distance. They found him. They found him in the trees. Stampede just gets S4 in range for the hoof stomp in time. He thought he could be clever to creep skip it out. Now, no Queen of Pain for 41 seconds. OG should take Tier 2 tower from this.
Most likely will.
What's your rebuttal? Like, MSS and AUI on top lane? Like, it's up against a already fat PL.
Yeah, it's not too easy anymore for the Cloud9 side. I think they have to itemize to deal with PL. It's kind of a requirement for their lineup at this point. Speaking of PL, he's kind of just running into Night Stalker. This could get awkward.
For Night Stalker, definitely. Jirek's going to get the stun off. Meanwhile, the hoof stomp on the other lines. AUI will get burnt. Eternal Envy starts his TP. S4 controlled him as long as he could, but Fly couldn't get there in time for Curse.
OG after a pretty hard start. I can't really tell you if the laning stage even went poorly for them. I think it went as expected. They were expected to lose and fall behind and then come back through a couple of good plays, and they've done it.
I think the only thing that was probably hard was the ancient problems. Close for Anna, like the fact they went for a stack and failed it 5 times.
Oh, bottom area.
Yeah, smoke up. At least catching Pylai died. The double trap and the jump forward. Yep, the catch. Okay. This Templar Assassin just doing what she does best.
Yep. Remember when I said Ice Armor is good against TA?
Yeah.
That was one of those cases where you couldn't see it.
Hey, no, you could. He would have died in one hit as opposed to 2 hits that Anna was forced to take. Value of time.
G are getting really farmed. Now that they've managed to get through that hard stage of the game and both the PL and the TA are getting this much farm, It is really difficult for Cloud9. I think they had a couple of key moments that they just got outplayed in and that failed. And if that's what happens against this kind of lineup, it's one thing if you don't succeed and nobody dies, but their plays when they were stronger, they lost. And that is what they couldn't afford. And at this point, it's kind of a comeback game for them, where they need to find a really good pick with maybe, as I said, some sort of way of itemizing against this PL. Maybe a Mjolnir as next item on Envy could help. Could even get something on the Queen of Pain to help out. He's going BKB as it looks because he's tired of dying from full HP.
It just seems so problematic for Envy to also still go into Mjolnir. Like, at least he's got the stats and potential evasion that comes from Amanda style, as he just runs into the wave, spins and kills it. But I'm still concerned it's just not going to be enough. Like, the damage output's just not there. And then you got a little bit more protection on the way. So Lotus Orb build up from the Centaur. Nyx Assassin's already got his, like, Jirex is just going for the War. Exactly what he needs. Blink and Arcanes. Doesn't need much more than that for this Nyx Assassin. Blink in to stop the Battle Rider. Battle Rider can't, like, now he's got his BKB, at least MSS. Like, again, like, it seems the smoke timing and all the pressure is on MSS's shoulders to get these initiations off when he gets a big item. And that BKB is going to have to do work for him. They have Medallion, they can focus the target nicely, they got the Ice Armor for survival. S4 was scouted moving up towards the shrine. They're scanning to see where else he goes. Fly, gonna scout at MSS, the Blink Lasso. It's over on the Wyvern, not the target they wanted, especially when the Stampede kicks in. A double Hofstorm, the Omni-Slash Fly is low. The BKB is final from MSS, the chain from OG! The damage! They were not expecting that! Jirax will fall! Cloud9 just got the greatest fight they could have ever have asked for! OG will be wiped from the face of the earth, and they get the biggest one at the end, and it will go down for 3-4-3 gold into MSS.
Okay, that was such a sick Chain Frost. And it looked like it was gonna not be that good for Cloud9 because MSS didn't get his BKB off before he got stunned again, still stayed alive. They fought under a shrine that was never activated.
Paladin needs a moment to pat himself on the back.
That's good. We're going to see this one again.
Yeah, see it in battle view.
So here comes the Omni-Slash, and Fly still gets Cold Embrace off, and then they're just starting to stack up really nicely. There it is.
Boom, 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 boom.
3 or 4 heroes under Firefly, Chain Frost hitting like 8 or 9 times there. And what an absolute trashing of a fight. 5-0 white. All right, that's what it took to get them back in the game. Huh? That wasn't too hard.
Yeah.
Now it's interesting again.
Yeah. Cold advantage just shifts 6,000.
And this is one of those interesting moments where it's like, when you watch the replay and you're OG, your conclusion is going to be, why didn't we just let Wyvern? Yeah. They got a Wyvern caught and they stampeded their Centaur out. It was 1 casualty at position 5.
But it looked really good as well. Like the double hoof stomp, it looked really good. And then all the momentum leading up to this had to be sitting in the minds of OG going, we've been winning this, boys. Yeah. Like, this is our time to destroy.
To lose the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's not so great.
Nyx and Centaur combining.
Yeah, they've still got a long way to go at Cloud9. Like, okay, you just got yourself the greatest fight to get you back into the game, but you're still fighting uphill against a lineup that is just rolling with the punches. They've still got all the items that they wanted to have. They've still got all the abilities, like, at the level they want it to be. OG will keep the pressure up, and this is something which is very, very difficult to contest. And it's always, again, like, I think, like, the smoke plays, there's only so many Cloud9 can do. There's a reason why there's a limit on how many times you can buy smoke.
Yep. They will have darkness now, though, so it's going to be a long night.
That vision advantage from AUI, but is that enough?
Well, it helps. They probably need a gem, I think. The Radiant should get a gem on the Bat Rider now and start trying to clear out the vision so that they can start making the moves again. They want to set up fights like the previous one where they get the jump and they force the action. And the gem is multi-purpose. It's not just against the wards, it's also good against the Nyx that the Bat Rider really wants to play around. So I think it's really a good investment right now. And they might be like, it's risky and whatnot. Maybe they don't feel the flow of the game the same way that we do when we're watching it. But I think at this point, Cloud9 needs to play risky. They need to get something going. with
they're trying
take
to.
the risk.
They're looking towards Roshan, and both teams are set up nicely for this. So Cloud9 have the ward really close towards the pit, so the Observer and Sentry about to time out in 3 seconds time. And yeah, you're seeing now C9 doing something about the aggressive wards that OG had down. But OG have 2. They have another one just a little bit further up west in the lane.
Why is Lich going Phase Boot Shadowblade?
DPS Lich. It's the Pyrian special.
I like Pyrian, okay? I like Pyrian.
Actually,
but I really don't think Pylai would be inspired to buy his item builds. That's so unbelievable.
What was
Pyrian has other
build,
strengths.
That was a
He's
build
okay
that
for
the PPD was talking about. The Mask of Madness into Maelstrom build over on the Lich. You get a huge amount of physical damage out of it. Presumably it wrecks.
It could just be a quick buy and he's going to turn into a Glimmer. You know, you just get one of the items that has the Shadow Amulet in it. But now he can afford it. So now we're going to see what the decision actually is.
Or maybe it's just him like going, I got a great ulti off before, I need to ulti the bottom wave first to get that money.
I mean, it is a good positioning item for sure. It's not that. It's just so uncharacteristic, especially for Pi. Buy this kind of item.
It seems such a risky thing to do, throw your ulti out when Roshan could be coming up.
He's playing for late game.
I know it's a 1 minute cooldown.
Talent.
Like just over 1 minute cooldown, but like there's no tier 2 tower for Cloud9 to claim here. For OG to claim here.
Nope.
And there's no ward they have that actually sees any heroes. They're sending illusion after illusion. So OG are really hoping the Cloud9 come out to them to fight. It's almost like they're trying to play bait with like a whole bunch of PLs, which is exactly what MSS doesn't want to go on.
Now OG have split up again. They TP'd away the TA. She's going to farm Ancients.
Roshan's alive.
Yeah, that's actually not the best timing ever to TP away.
Both teams are aware now. So MSS was able to sticky napalm into the pit, and the TA traps all the rest.
Could get dicey if he gets caught here. He does get away in time.
Mass defensive. He's got the hood, he's got the plate mail, so he's got the armor and the magic resistance, plus raindrops on top. Anything that will save him. And Notel's turning this into a proper split game. With his BTs on this PL, it's very different to the old PL, but he can still use the Manta style to keep momentum going.
Yeah, they just want to shove in waves and get farm. It's a good farming item, as always. Every hero gets a pretty significant GPM increase by going travels. Efficiency. You don't have to buy TP scrolls anymore.
Oh, S4, he just blinked into the wave. Right underneath, 3 Cloud9 players, he blinked into the wave.
This is with Notail being top, actually.
Yeah, and he just BT'd there. They should be aware of this.
It's so risky.
But they're expecting someone from Cloud9 to come to the bottom lane to deal with it. And Fada has done so. Fada has a TP scroll. They still had that shrine next to Roshan, so there's no issue for Cloud9 to contest the pit. It's like both teams are playing a game of cat and mouse. OG keep like just poking a finger into the pressure point of Cloud9 and seeing if they can get like a knee-jerk reaction.
They're just getting more out of the map at the same time. They're finding more farm.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, the Centaur that was struggling a lot in the start has Blink, Lotus, and Hood. And the PL, as we talked about with the travels, is going to keep ramping up, as well as Ana. OG's advantage, the primary advantage they have in this game is that their lineup is way better at killing Ancients. So economy will eventually favor them by just being able to mine the map better.
They've got double defusals.
Ana thinking about it.
Goes in for the Arcane Rune, the BKB from MSS, holds him in position, they need to kill him off. Mana style, Ana will break free, Stampede, they need more speed, and they've got it. Back to the shrine and back to safety.
Envy got really unlucky, he omni-slashed the illusions the whole time.
I was still at the bottom. Oh, they're coming back, they have to come back.
Yeah, this is Roche for OG, more likely.
Should be.
Or maybe a pick on the way. They're thinking about it. AUI.
Sentries are down. Observers, they see everything. AUI just runs. And rightly so. But now Ana will give it a crack. And these Peon illusions just don't stop. Envy will flag himself again. And his TP's on cooldown. He cannot return to Roshan fast enough. But OG bailed. They're not doing it. In fact, they're smoking one. Oh, they're invis once again with the Nyx.
They're just very textbook pressuring still.
Yeah.
Notail just got the bottom wave pushed all the way into the Radiant base. The wave is currently sitting right outside the Radiant base, and now the top wave will as well. And that's going to open up for OG to make a decision of what avenue they want to attack from. This
they see the obs. They can't get rid of the Sentry Ward, but they send a couple of PL illusions up, and that Observer Ward's gone. And in they go once more. OG, MSS still nearby. Sticky napalming up Roshan, so he gets to glow that wonderful golden color.
It's daytime, they don't have darkness. They're just playing the game.
Oh, MSS!
Delay game.
He has a BKB.
Ooh.
That's his 8-second BKB now down. And Roshan's already gone. So Aegis and Cheese gonna go the way of OG. And will take the Aegis, Notel has the Cheese, and they're stampeding forward. They kept the stun. It's the Lich, it's Pylai Dai, who now hides inside of his Shadow Amulet. Okay, starts his TP, realized the Sentry was coming in from Fly.
He almost made it out. Say something.
And like awkward silence.
I don't.
Alright, so
I used to though. You remember that?
yeah, yeah, you and Puppy sitting there with your freaking glasses on.
Awkward sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let me welcome in our wonderful people. Yeah. Anyway, that's history. So OG, you now have the Aegis as well as Cheese. You're looking in for your objective. Obviously, high ground is the next thing. That's the only other buildings they can start taking now. Do you go all the way? Do you just look to chip away at a tier 3 tower? Or do you continue to play the split push game? Does Roshan mean, like, does Aegis mean that much to OG? They're not on the clock. They don't have to push.
No, they don't have to push. Take it pretty easy. Keep farming. If they see a good opening and a pick, they can go high ground with that. But I don't think they're just randomly going to show up as 5 in the lane and just try to force it.
Yeah.
It's not a necessity, at least. It could work. They can definitely do it, but
if you had the Aghanims on S4 by now, then maybe I would go for it. Just because you could survive the initial hit. We're talking about like how fast he's farming up. He's 3,000 gold away from his Aghanim section now. They're looking at bottom. Eternal Envy continues just to defensively spin waves down.
The issue here for Cloud9 is that OG are pushing the waves constantly, and they are not committing. Okay, here we go. This could be a moment.
C9's committing. They're going to find S4 a little bit further to the north. But it's the bottom lane where Juggernaut is already down. Fana protected by his BKB. Blinked into the tree line. Do they see him in time? They jump down, destroy the trees around him. But Eternal Envy is picked. And OG, that is more than enough confidence now to go high ground.
Yep, that's the one pick they needed. That's enough.
Here they come. It sounds like you want onto Ana. Lotus Orb will help protect him. But with that Monkey King bar, his damage output's just through the roof. And no way to evade, no way to dodge. This is probably the easiest and most uncontested rank OG's going to get.
I think they can go for a second lane as well. They have 20 seconds. They can go hit mid.
And it's taking some time, and OG are going to be safe.
Fair enough. They have...
It's hard to go against that. You don't want to have, like, after your last hiccup that happened on top lane, like maybe you don't want to have the same kind of thing happen again.
I think this time the cards are a bit more stacked against Cloud9. This is a 12k lead with Aegis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy.
The same thing's not going to happen again, but maybe that's also one of these things too where we can think about the future of the tournament. A lot of teams are looking to the group stages to get a lot of information, not just about drafts like ban and picks. It's about the mentality of OG. OG playing very set, structured Dota is a dangerous thing, but it's also maybe what we talked about at the very start with the drafting phase, is this OG playing that mid-game orientated drafts once more. A team's going to know what they're going to get against OG. They back up, they don't put the knife to the throat. Yeah. It's more of a slow asphyxiation.
So here we go. Oh, OG are going to go for the top lane. Lich does have the Shadow Blade. I'm not sure if Kai is going to try to get in behind them. You got to go to chain cross off that way.
One way to do it.
But if they don't do anything, the game is just over. So something's going to give.
He doesn't have mana. He has to use a shrine. One illusion was able to hit him. Now the Blink Lasso and to cover the BKB. You also have to keep the Night Stalker out of the fight. And Ana stampedes back just a little bit further. He's still got the double damage rune on him. It's Phantom Lancer who's in too deep. The Cold Embrace buying time. Curse onto AUI. Eternal Envy turns attention towards Night Stalker, unwillingly killing him down. And with the double edge, the damage is too much. Sparta wants to help out. Now the Sonic Wave, but it almost seems futile, even though it does connect on 4 heroes. Maybe not so futile. Turning around looking for Ana. But they don't find the kill. S4 blinks, but MSS blinks away in time. Doesn't get caught by the hoof stop. That would have been game if he goes down here.
Here comes Lich. Oh, he gets Jerax with a Shadow Blade hit into Nova. He was not ready for that one.
Wrecked. Brutally.
But OG, very nice fight again. Fly on the Winter Wyvern with a great save onto No-Tail.
Yep.
Or was it? Or was it Ana? I think it was No-Tail. You got the Cold Embrace into Curse. The Omni Slash did nothing. And that's kind of a... If you go back to the draft and you think about it, when Wyvern was picked, we were questioning, like, what does it counter? Is it good here? And then toward the end with this Juggernaut pick, Juggernaut doesn't really like that matchup particularly much playing against the Wyvern. So maybe there could have been a better choice for Cloud9 than this Juggernaut that they picked last. It hasn't seemed to do what they were maybe hoping. And that, I mean, Envy is 8-2-8. He hasn't even had a bad game as such. Like, his score on the hero is good, he's got good farm, but the fights just, in general, have seemed tricky for him to play. The Juggernaut, his problem against a hero like Wyvern is he's not that mobile, right? Like, you go in and you fight and then you're there. You can't, like, blink around and get into the back line. And the Wyvern has hard lockdown against you. You can't play this split push kind of game where Juggernaut just goes and pushes out waves, spins the wave, and TP's home. There's always the risk that you're going to get Wyvern ulti, and you're a hero that hits really fast. You actually kill heroes in Winter's.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure. More than anything, though, I don't think this is that much of a game of picks, because I still think Cloud9's draft is good overall, and I think, oh, wait a second, No-Tail.
Problem is, oh, but then again, look at the friends. They come in, the Aghanim Scepter, upgraded Stampede, just lets them tank it in MSS, locked in position. The Sonic Wave will kill off Nick's Assassin, but they commit so much just to get the Nyx, and No-Tail's still gonna have the time of his life. Moving down, killing off AUI with illusions. I say killing off, they're just doing damage, not finishing the job. And Eternal Envy, well, he has to stick around a little bit longer. Walks away after Centaur. Invisibly runs out. They actually find MSS. He's 4-staffed up, needs 1 second before he can blink away to safety, and now blinks a little bit further down. They ping a semi-right area, but the TA trap just a little bit off. So for all of that initiation, for all of those abilities that were triggered, the double BKBs that go off, Nick's Assassin is the only one to die.
So what I was getting at before is that it's interesting to see in a game like this how, you know, we were talking about the hero versus hero matchups a lot in the draft. Like, this hero is not particularly good against this is not particularly good against this, yada yada. But this game has been more of a game on play style rather than the specific heroes. I think OG's style in this game has proved very successful, so they might be onto something. It's just one game, you know. We're gonna need to see more from them, but I think both drafts in isolation, the heroes that they have are good, but in my mind, this OG lineup would not face off this well against Cloud9's lineup as it has. So there might be something here that OG has figured out going in, and I'm very curious to see how they move onward with it into their next games. I'm kind of sounding like this game is over, but it's pretty damn
really
close to.
Yeah, it would require something of extraordinary levels from Cloud9 to bring it back.
Yeah.
Like, you've just finished up a full Heart of Tarrasque over on the Phantom Lancer. He's got Butterfly, Anna's got Butterfly. There's no way Juggernaut could even guarantee he hits his damage, and you can see Eternal Envy realizing his conundrum. He's got Battle Fury and he's quick buy. he's trying to catch up and at least clean up the mess that's inside of his base. Mjolnir is not enough. BKB from MSS commits him, but now he's just got a whole bunch of no-tails around him. Fana cannot keep his mana up. These illusions keep draining them dry when they cannot even do combinations because the mana pools are not full enough. So Cloud9, they'll have to admit defeat for this first game. But hey, that's why it's a 2-game series. Lasso, oh, the curse, it's on MSS. Eternal Envy's in the middle of it with the double stuns follow-up. You've lost your Barret Rider. Queen of Pain will go down. She'll bite back. They still really want to fight to the last man. There's so much PL. The Holstone from S4 catching thrice. And that is the game. They had to get a clearer message just to ensure it was GG. OG take game 1.
It was a nice game. A lot of good action, a lot of fights from both sides, but OG with the superior farm toward the end and the stronger late game lineup, it ends up looking easy for them in the later portion, but they did have to make a couple of pretty serious outplays to get there.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me wonder, like, this type of Cloud9 lineup that plays a bit faster, that's better early, better at fighting, if they played it better, would this OG lineup have been able to reach this stage?